Is this the old Watts house?
Huh?
Is this the old Watts house?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think I've met you before, right? When you guys first moved in here? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It happened right
here?
Yeah. Wine is.
Is that the wine?
Yeah.
So, when you were holding the glass, how were you holding it when he
I was
did?
just holding it.
Okay.
Everything like me and her have been through, you know, in 12 years, and then to see her just like piss it all away, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm watching it right here, you know, and like that's Bonnie, that's Kaylin on the right, and like she even looks back to see if anybody's like watching and shit. And I smacked her glass.
Smacked her glass on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I broke the glass.
And he just knocked it out of my glass. He told me to shut the fuck up. He called me a bitch. He walked down the stairs.
I mean, 12 years of marriage, man.
No, I know, but
You know,
what was going through your head when you hit the glass?
I'm emotional, you know. I mean, I've been married to this woman for 12 years. She's the mother of my 3 kids.
So you are being placed under arrest for the domestic violence. You have certain rights as a victim in domestic violence and other things, but
I'm scared of him, but I'm also scared of being able to take care of my kids on my own.
Okay.
So you're getting charged with the harassment, the obstruction of telephone service, and because it happened in front of the children, they're tacking on child abuse as well.
No way. Oh my God. My kids were in the basement.
Yes, believe it or not, we are going back. We're going back to Watts Island, the same home where Christopher Watts annihilated his entire family. I want to thank you to those of you who've commented that you've been with me on Watts Island since I started in True Crime YouTube in 2018. And I learned even before then, way back in 2005, when I published my first online blog post, and even in 2006 when I joined YouTube for the first time, the year after it started, people vote with their views. It's not just what people say, it's what they do. And those are the stories they really want to see. Those are the cases they really want me to cover. And especially since 2018, I've learned to follow up on some of my most popular viewed stories. Those are the ones you guys are voting with your views, literally clicking on, just like readers used to click on my online articles, Googling and searching and everything. That's the stuff they want to see. And the videos that end up getting the least views are the ones that you're telling me with your vote you don't want to see. Well, over these past years, one of those cases that you guys have wanted to see the most is the story of Chris Watts and Shanann Watts. We watched together so many different body cam videos of this house in Colorado on Saratoga Trail.
What's going on with you, bro? Alright, well, you want to talk to me out here?
Can I grab my shoes?
Yeah,
You have kids in the house, right?
Yeah.
How old are the kids?
4, 7, and 9.
You mind if we come in?
Yeah, you can even go to the garage if you want.
Wherever you're comfortable. I see what you want to do with it.
Never did I suspect in 2024 we would be back in that house, going back in with cops because of another domestic disturbance. Thank God this domestic disturbance did not end the way the Chris Watts case ended, with him annihilating his pregnant wife Shanann and his beautiful daughters Bella and Celeste. But this case of the Millers, as I'll call them, that's just their last name, I won't say more than that. This case is still disturbing and sad nonetheless, but we can learn a lot from this case of domestic violence, as I have learned. So also thank you to all of you who encouraged me to dig into what truly happened. What happened, the truth, past all the Facebook rumors and innuendos. You guys have been buzzing. You've been abuzz with something going on in the Watts house in 2024. And now we're learning more of the full sad story. So I got these 4 videos I've linked to below. Technically, I purchased 5 body cam videos from the Frederick Police Department. It cost $450. Oh, and I also had to pay for the booking photo for the husband who was arrested in this case. These are the Millers. They moved into the Watts house After many years of it sitting empty, apparently it took some doing to get them in there, and all of a sudden, less than 2 years later, they were moving out, and everyone wondered why. Social media was abuzz. So I put in public records request, got these videos, 5 of them. One was kind of a duplicate of the other. One was shorter, so I put in the longer one. So you will see 4 full raw body cam videos. You will see the 4 complete raw body cam videos exactly as I got them from police. And it's funny, in the first one, the young cop, I call him Officer Clean Hands. You'll see why if you watch all the way almost to the end. He's the only cop, the only one of the 3 cops who responded that night, Super Bowl Sunday, February 11th, 2024. He's the only one of the 3 cops who recognized, is this the old Watts house? He realized he's walking into an infamous house. I don't even know if he was an officer, like what? Wow. Like what? I just realized nearly 6 years to the day of the horrific Watts crime. So as I film this today, it is Saturday, August 10th, 2024. The Watts crime happened August 13th, 12th, 13th, into the night at some point 2018. So it's been nearly 6 years. And to hear the younger cop say, is this the old Watts house? It's showing he recognizes the infamy of the home, but also the passage of time. That home will always be the old Watts house where something horrible happened. Just like the scene of other crimes, the Charles Manson crimes and Jeffrey Dahmer crimes, and all these locations that kind of become a snapshot in time, whether the home or apartment building gets torn down or not. Well, this home is still standing. This couple with their beautiful family moved in to much fanfare. They went viral online, and I can hardly believe we're watching them, their family basically fall apart through body cam videos once again.
Hi.
Hello?
I'm Sergeant Plunder. If that's 911, you can hang up with them.
Okay, your officer is here. Your officer is here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, bye.
What's going on?
My husband thinks that he saw me kiss a girl that's here from my work.
Okay.
And he shattered my wine glass that was in my hand.
How did he get the wine glass?
I was holding it. He shattered it out of my hand.
So he knocked you?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you kissing her?
No, she turned around to look at me, to kiss me on the cheek. I turned at the same time. It looked like we kissed.
Okay.
I don't like girls.
Have you had issues with him before about this kind of stuff? Okay.
We haven't
Are
had
you-
issues about this. We've had issues about him being angry at
Okay.
me.
How long have you been married?
12 and a half years.
How many kids do you have?
3.
Are they all downstairs? Okay. So he's with an officer. Okay, so the kids are safe. Who else in the house right now?
I think my neighbor is still here, and my kids.
In the garage. Okay.
Please don't take my kids away.
Why would we take your kids away?
Because he's an angry man.
But why would we take the kids
I
away?
don't know. Please don't take them
Okay.
from me.
Do me a huge, take a deep breath. Okay?
He's an angry man. He always has been.
Okay.
And I don't like girls, and I wish I liked girls, but I don't like girls. But
So, are you hurt at all?
no, I'm okay. He did that, but I'm okay.
Is that from the glass or from
It's
him?
from the glass. It's from him shattering it out of my hands.
Okay. Did he say anything when he did that?
He told my friend and her husband to get the fuck out of our house.
So they're not here anymore?
No, they left.
Okay. How long ago did this happen?
Like a half an hour ago, maybe. He took my phone.
Okay. Why did he take your phone?
I
Did he
don't
say
know.
anything?
I don't know. He probably didn't want me to call you.
Did he
probably
say that?
No,
Okay.
he didn't. But
So how did you get your phone back?
because I knew that he had it, I told him to give it to me because I told MJ to call the cops. So he threw it across the room, so I went and got it so that I could call you.
Okay.
Because thank God MJ was here, or I wouldn't
Is
have
that
been
your
able.
son or is that the friend?
He's our neighbor.
Oh, okay. 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 So other than, let me see your hand again. Do you need an ambulance?
No,
or
no, no,
anything
no,
like that?
no. It's okay. I'm just really scared of him.
Okay. Has he ever been physical with you before? Just be honest with me. That's a yes.
He's never hit me.
Okay. Has he pushed you? Grabbed you? Okay. Do you have ID on you by chance, or is it up here?
It's downstairs.
Okay, we're not going to worry about that right now, okay? Can I get a picture of your finger real quick? So the glass did that,
Yeah, I think so.
but you don't know for sure?
It had to be the glass.
And he cleaned up the
You
glass?
can see, no, I cleaned up. Well, he vacuumed, but I picked up the shards.
Hey, buddy. So
I
you
don't
sure
want
you?
my kids
So you sure you have the glass all picked up?
I hope so.
Do you have slippers, buddy? Because there might be some glass up here.
Yeah, let's stay away from here, okay, baby?
In the second raw body cam video, you will hear a female cop. She speaks mostly to the wife in this circumstance. There's video number 3, he's the older male cop, and he's also featured in video number 4 that takes place the next day. When the husband gets out of jail, he's allowed to come back to the home just to get his stuff, get his trucks out of the driveway, take stuff away. These cops are very patient with the husband, and the husband isn't very self-aware. It's really creepy. It took me back. The husband has a gray truck, very similar to Chris Watts' APC truck that sat in the same driveway that hauled the body of his pregnant wife away and his 2 terrified daughters in the back seat. So there's a lot of triggers. So if you want to watch all those raw body cam videos, go over there to Patreon and watch them. People are already watching them now. Some people are saying, I have no problems whatsoever. Some people are admitting in the comments, I'm a little technically challenged. I don't know why this didn't work. And then they go back and it's working. And someone said they couldn't hear audio, and I said, are you sure? You know, you have your headphones on. There are portions that are redacted, and you know how some body cam videos, the first 29 to 30 seconds, there's no audio before it kicks in. I was trying to figure out if it was that. One person said she went over to the app, the Patreon app, and it worked fine. It wasn't working on her computer. Another woman said, no, it works fine on the app and on my computer. So anyway, thank you for all your comments, and it should work fine to play them all over there. Some people just want the highlights, which you'll get in this video, just the highlights.
Hi.
I love my babies, and I've only stayed with him because I love him.
Okay. How much have you had to drink tonight?
A few glasses of wine.
And how much has he had to drink?
I don't really know.
But he has been drinking? What has he been drinking?
Beer.
Okay.
I
Just
promise
beer?
you that this is me being very emotional. I'm not drunk. I'm really
No.
scared.
Are you over 21?
Yeah, I'm
You can be
33.
drunk. You can be drunk. It's okay.
I'm scared of him.
Okay. Explain that to me a little bit more. Why are you scared of him? That doesn't come from nowhere.
No. He's always looking for
Okay. You said he's grabbed you.
I mean, he's like,
You're saying he's never hit you.
look at me, he's got my ring off my fingers, he's pushed doors down, he's destroyed things in my house, but I can't leave because he's so good to my kids.
Is he the father of all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you spell your first name?
And some people want the full raw body cam, just like we watched all of Chris Watts' body cam videos, just hour after hour. So this time it was Sunday, February 11th, 2024, as we've talked about in previous videos, but now we get to actually see it. It was Super Bowl Sunday. In fact, there was this big drama unfolding between this husband and wife, and they were trying to have a little Super Bowl party, and it all went awry.
You can come downstairs if you want. The kids are fine.
If you want to put something else on us, if you don't want us to leave, go ahead. But you guys are going to stay here for now, okay?
He's going to watch.
I'm scared of him.
That's fine. Do what you want to do.
So MJ, is that your nickname or your given? I have to ask. Nowadays, you never know.
So it's my nickname.
Since it was February, the sun had just set around 5:30 p.m. in Frederick, Colorado, and darkness fell, and once again, trouble was afoot. When the wife calls the police, and I just realized they did not give me the 911 call, but the wife calls the police, and she said her husband started going crazy. we listened to that dispatch in our previous video. I'll link to that previous video below too. So according to the police report, it was about 6:32 p.m. that night, February 11th, when stuff started to pop off and they responded to this famous home. So we're walking with the cops visually back into this home at night, well lit, really pretty. They did a great job redecorating and everything, but it's almost like that same evil spirit, maybe a wife-hating spirit or something, or violent spirit, angry spirit is lurking there.
Okay, but for sure he's going to be in jail overnight. He won't see a judge more than likely until some point tomorrow. There's a likely chance that he will be restrained from this location for a decent amount of time.
Okay.
Whether he obeys that or not, that's up to him. Okay. It sounds like you've got some great friends and great support system. You need to lean on them.
I do.
Okay? Take a couple deep breaths. Drink some water. Okay? Yep.
It's okay.
Hey, come here. It was hard to hold back emotion, you know. I went there, I confronted him, and I told her, you know, like, I didn't confront her. I just told Caitlin, I was like, come here, and her and I came here, and we stood here in the garage, and we talked. And I told her, I said, I know everything that just happened, I watched it, you know. I said, yeah. Okay. And I was like, just be honest with me, you know, tell me, and like, here, like, I mean, I even have it recorded.
So as of August 9th, like you guys have seen and talked about, the home is still listed for sale. The price was cut nearly $25,000, and the home is currently listed at nearly $725,000. But it's troubling how both crimes, one, I guess you could say a lot less serious, and we'll see your opinion on this. Some people are thinking, oh, they were a little rough on the husband. Me personally, I'm glad the cops responded. We're going to see is that this husband has cameras trained, or had cameras trained, on the inside of the house, and even on the outside. You'll notice, because it's such a famous home, infamous home, I'm sure it's still getting plenty of onlookers and people driving by, taking videos. Some people probably walking up to the driveway. People used to leave all the stuffed animals and even food, I believe, on the porch. But anyway, not only do you hear that warning, you will hear their video cameras outside saying, warning, you're being recorded. So you'll hear that the cop's body cam picks up on that when he's walking and approaching that home.
But like I said, you make choices tonight, and you make those choices, whether they're the right ones or not, I can't predict that.
And he can't come back tonight, though. He'll be out.
Okay, but for sure he's going to be in jail overnight. See a judge more than likely until some point tomorrow. There's likely chances he will be restrained from this location for a decent amount of time. Whether he obeys that or not, that's up to him. Okay?
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
That same garage. Now there's been a paint job done. It looks different, but very similar still inside. Even though Shanann's paint has been painted over, like there's no more purple ceiling in that dining room, and the wall, the backsplash of that infamous staircase where Chris Watts dragged Shanann down after killing her, it's been painted a nice dark color accent wall.
No, I mean, so
It happened right
did
here.
it happen right
Where
here?
the wine is.
Is that the wine?
Yeah.
So when you were holding the glass, how were you holding it when he
I was
did?
just holding it.
Okay, and did he say anything when that happened?
Yeah, well, he came upstairs. He was like, I saw you kiss her, whatever.
Yeah.
So silly and so stupid. And he just knocked it out of my glass. He told me to shut the fuck up. He called me a bitch. He walked down the stairs.
When did he take your phone?
I don't know. I honestly do not know when
Did
he
you have
took
it in your hand or anything?
No, it was charging in here,
Okay.
and I know that he took it because he thinks he saw what he saw, and he knew I was going to call the cops. I told MJ to call the cops, and that's why he threw it back into my room.
Was that the only phone you had, or was there other phones you could use to call us?
No, this is my only phone.
But okay, but nobody else had a phone.
MJ is my neighbor, and I told him to call the cops.
Okay. So can I see your finger?
I mean, it's cleaned up a little bit now, but that's from the glass.
I got pictures of it.
Okay, did you? Alright, so harass. What does it hurt?
No, it doesn't really hurt. I'm just really scared of him.
The phone do the okay. Alright.
How do you spell?
And what he
Do you
saw.
have it?
I think I might.
Can you check to see if it recorded what happened?
We're playing video games. I turn to look at her. She turns to look at me. I think that she turned to lean in for a kiss. Like, on the cheek. And that's what she thinks, that's what he thinks that he saw.
Okay.
It's not, like, we're not
But
sitting there
show me
making out.
Does it show when he came upstairs?
No. He probably turned the cameras off. Because, see, that's just you now.
So you don't have anything before that?
Nope. He probably turned it all off.
Is there any way to know if it got turned off?
See, no, because the last thing is me and her sitting here on the couch playing a video game. So he probably turned it
What
off.
time is that?
That's at 6:09.
And was it right after that?
No, because he took me down to the garage.
To show you that he had the video?
Yeah.
Of you guys doing this?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then we came upstairs because he was pissed off. He was yelling at me. So he came upstairs to yell at Bonnie. And then he kicked her out. And he knocked the glass out of my hand. He shattered.
But Bonnie was here when that
Yeah,
happened?
she was sitting right here. He told her
Did
to get the fuck
anything
out.
happen in the garage between you and
Yeah,
him?
he was just yelling at me. He told me to get the fuck out. He was just like, yeah.
Okay. All your kids are downstairs? And they were downstairs?
Yeah, they were downstairs.
Okay, can I ask you to stay up here for now? I'm just going to go downstairs and check to make sure that the kids are okay. And then I'll be right back up, okay?
Can I see my own babies?
In just a minute, because they're talking to him downstairs. I want you to stay upstairs so that I can control, okay? Hi.
This is the home where Chris confessed to taking Shanann's life. He even claims he took the lives of his girls, or at least tried to in the home. He claims they woke back up. That's when he took them out to an oil field, Survey 319, and disposed of his family horribly. So that's why this home continues to get attention. It's the case heard around the world. This wasn't some small crime case. This was a case where people could not believe. That's why I had to jump on YouTube and just talk about it. I could not believe it happened. How could a man like Chris Watts, seemingly who loved his family so much, at least according to Facebook pictures or fake book pictures as they call it, Shanann called him her rock. It's like, how could he do that to his family? And so all these years later, people are still interested. The Millers went viral when they moved in. They moved in 2022 amid much fanfare because their real estate agent posted a photo, the husband, the wife, 2 girls, and a little boy. There were photos of the family standing outside and in the kitchen. There was a lot of talk of this family making this home where something so horrific happened a happy home instead. Almost like living out Shanann's dream that she didn't get to live out. It wasn't lost on viewers that the wife stood in the kitchen. She was wearing the kind of shirt with the cut-out shoulders that Shanann liked to wear a lot because she would show off her Thrive patches. And this husband and wife had 2 girls and 1 boy. Just like Chris and Shanann would have had Bella and Celeste, 2 girls and 1 little boy, Nico Lee Watts, if Chris had not taken Nico and Shanann and the girls off of this earth. Like Chris Watts talked about in prison, if I hadn't have done that, I would have had 2 daughters and a 1-year-old boy by now, or whatever he said during his 2019 interview. So as soon as this house went back on the market, many true crime followers started glomming on and wondering why, especially because Mrs. Miller had so boldly she defended her decision to purchase the home. You know, they let their photos be published. The realtor ended up even taking them down. There was so much buzz. There was so much backlash. And, you know, I didn't understand a lot of the undeserved hate. Some people were coming at the wife like, oh, you're trying to be like Shanann. Look at you standing in her kitchen and wearing the shirts with the cutout shoulders. You know, this is creepy. You've got 2 girls and a boy, and you're standing in Shanann's kitchen, basically, wanting to be like her. And I thought that was unfair criticism. So I didn't blame this wife for clapping back. And she was saying, look, there's a lot of cute girls in Colorado who dress like this. This is what we wear. I'm not trying to be like Shanann. I'm trying to have a happy home. And she even defended her husband because for some reason people were saying, oh, he kind of looks like Chris Watts and he's going to do the same thing to you. And why are you in there? And there was this long response. You can watch my previous video where she really clapped back point by point. I forgot how many points there were. But this wife was saying, my husband would never hurt us. Everything's going to be fine. She defended her decision. I thought that would be the end of it. All of a sudden, the house goes up for sale and rumors are afloat. When the house went for sale, of course, people are buzzing and commenting, and people are still wondering, is that house cursed? We can talk about that. Chris Watts had told police on February 19th, 2019, during his interview when they flew out to Wisconsin to talk to him and audibly recorded him, he said something he remembers telling Shanann that day, basically before he took her life. Can we move to Brighton just to get away from, like, this house?
From what I remember, I even said, can we move to Brighton just to get away from, like, this house?
Now, I know we can't trust Chris Watts as far as we can throw him, but that did always kind of stick with me. Like, why would he say, can we just get away from this house? Did he just mean the overwhelming mortgage payments that we can't keep up with, or did he mean something deeper? I can't help but wonder. Let's get into the details of this night, this incident. 2,000 and something days after Chris Watts annihilated his own family, cops are going back into this home, responding to a wife in distress, another woman in fear of her husband. Now, you might notice I'm purposely not saying her name, and the cops did a great job with, like, blurring faces and everything, protecting the victims. And like I said, even portions of the audio have been redacted.
Question? Were you upstairs when Mommy and Daddy were yelling at each other? What did Daddy do?
Slam on Mom's glass. Yeah, he like broke the glass and then
broke the glass. Did you see what happened?
No, he just.
It's not the end all be all. He made a mistake. He has to answer for it. It's not like the end.
I wish that, like, I would have. He's done a lot, you know, but I've stayed for my kids.
And that's, you know, we make choices. And we do the best we can. He made a choice tonight. Okay, so he has to answer for that. What that looks like, I can't say. I don't know. Okay, but he will be an active participant in that to a degree. The DA will listen to you, the judge will listen to you. Okay? But make sure you let them know about your concerns and the fact that you're afraid of him and that this is kind of seems to be escalating. Does he have access to guns?
No, we sold our most recent gun.
So there's no
more. Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't keep a gun in his truck or anything like that?
No, we got rid of the last one.
Okay. Does he have family around here?
Yeah.
Okay, so he has someone to go. And again, it's a sucky situation, but he made the choice to do what he did.
I know. It's not the choice.
Alcohol, okay, whatever. He's an adult.
No, he's done it.
Is there a reason besides the kids that you have stayed with him? Or not reported it?
I'm just really scared. I'm just scared because, like...
So what you did by calling us was a huge step.
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt like it was getting to a point where he could really hurt me. And it's been that way before, but I always knew that he wouldn't, because if I had turned him in, he would probably go to jail, and then that hurts my kids. And so I know that that's why he's never gone as far as he wishes that he would.
Out that he says he saw something and she's so sorry, he's just freaking out. He comes back up, starts yelling at her, and basically smacks the wine glass out of her hand, and what do you need me to do? Like, how can I help you? She said she's scared. She doesn't want to be left alone with him because he is gonna hurt her, but she can't leave her kids.
Okay.
And I said, okay, you need to tell me what you need me to do, because that's not okay. Like, come with us, or what do you need to do? She said, I can't leave my kids. I was like, okay, well then, what do you need from me?
Okay.
She says, yeah. So my concern is, she told me that she's scared that he is going to hurt her.
Okay. Are you injured?
I am not injured, no. I grabbed my husband. He started yelling at both of us to leave, and I said, okay, I am not injured. I'm totally fine. We are totally fine. I am concerned for her.
His hands on you or your husband?
With the wine glass, just smacked it across from her.
Okay. Did you see him put his hand, smack the glass out of her hand?
I didn't see him, no, put his hands on her, no.
Okay. Did she say if she was hurt at any point during that interaction or talking to you later?
No.
Okay. And just to confirm, you're not hurt and your husband is not hurt?
No, we're not hurt, no.
And are you on your way home?
We are on our way home, yes.
Okay. And just to confirm, the phone number that I called you at, that's the best number for you?
Yeah, that is my phone number, correct.
Bonnie, how do you spell your first name?
B.
Was your husband upstairs when this all happened, or was he downstairs?
He was downstairs. I came downstairs to tell him, hey, let's go. He's freaking out. I let him know, like, he just went ahead and smacked the glass out of her hand. The glass went everywhere, started yelling. So I basically didn't want to put my husband in that situation.
Okay.
So I wanted to get him out. I never want to put my husband in a situation where he feels like he needs to defend me.
Okay.
And I was like, don't lie to me. Just be honest, you know? We've been married for 12 years, you know, and now you're going to sit up here in my house with my kids downstairs and like we're watching the game. We're supposed to be hanging out with friends. And you're going to do this, you know? So like, I didn't confront anybody at first. I pulled her down here. We're talking about it. And she wanted to just be straight up. She's like, it didn't happen. I'm like, it did. And I showed her. And she's like, no, that didn't happen. And like, she's like, she didn't kiss me. I'm like, I'm watching it. You know, so like, I went back in. She stayed out here for a couple more minutes thinking of everything. And then like, I tried to just go and just like be cool. But like, I was like 12 years of marriage, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and you're just going to do this to me?
Yeah.
So I walked up. I want you to leave. You're not welcome at my house. I want you to go. Get your husband and go. Kaylin's standing right there and she had her glass of wine and she's like, nothing happened or whatever. And I was like, I know it did. I'm watching it on camera. She's like, nothing happened. It didn't happen. And I smacked her glass.
Smacked her glass.
Yeah. And I broke the glass.
What was she doing with the glass?
She just had it right there like that. And I
smacked it out
hit
of her
the
hand?
top. I didn't even hit it out of her hand. I hit the top of her glass. And it shattered the glass.
Shattered the glass.
Did you get hurt? You
I
cut
didn't
yourself?
I didn't get cut. She didn't get cut. I swear, I didn't touch her. I went like that on the glass. I hit the glass.
Why'd you do that?
I mean, 12 years of marriage, man.
No, I know, but
You
I
know,
mean, what was going through your head when you hit the glass?
I'm emotional, you know? I mean, I've been married to this woman for 12 years. She's the mother of my 3 kids.
Right.
We have a whole life together.
Now, what about this other guy when I came in, this skinnier guy?
He's my neighbor.
So who is her husband? Where's her husband? Is
They
he in the house
left.
too?
They left.
Oh, they're already gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do they live?
Castle Rock.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you have an ID on you, real quick? Let me go talk to.
It's in there on the table.
Okay. Just get it. That's me, dogs. It's me. It's me. It's puppies. It's okay. You're a cute little dog. Does she? Okay. Yeah. No, I mean.
The wife is begging the cop, please don't take my kids away. And the female officer is asking, why would we take the kids away? And she's saying, because he's an angry man. MJ, a neighbor, is still there. Apparently another couple, a husband and wife who were kind of in the middle of the melee, had already been kicked out of the house by the husband, so they were gone, and the cops do talk to them on the phone to get their witness statement, their testimony. But MJ seems like a great neighbor who stays there just to help. His daughter's there, and he's staying there basically as a comfort to this really upset wife who is waiting for the victim's advocate to arrive. The older cop offered her a victim's advocate, and she said, yes, please, you know, it's okay. It's okay for the victim's advocate to come to the house. So I wondered if it was going to be Hazel, the woman we saw as a victim's advocate counseling Nicole Kessinger after the crimes. No, it turns out it's some woman named Emily. We don't see that part, but I'm glad this wife had a victim's advocate to help her, because the wife just says, I'm just really scared of him.
So, did it happen right here?
Wine
Is that the wine?
Yeah.
So, when you were holding the glass, how were you holding it when he
I was
did?
just holding it.
Okay, and did he say anything when that happened?
Yeah, well, he came upstairs. He was like, I saw you kiss her, whatever.
Yeah.
So silly and so stupid. And he just knocked it off my glass. He told me to shut the fuck up. He called me a bitch. He walked down the stairs.
When did he take your phone?
I don't know. I honestly do not know when
Did
he
you
took
have it
it.
in your hand or anything?
No, it was charging in here, and I know that he took it because he thinks he saw what he saw, and he knew I was going to call the cops. I told MJ to call the cops, and that's why he threw it back into my room.
Was that the only phone you had, or was there other phones you could use to call us?
No, this is my only phone.
But nobody else had a phone.
MJ is my neighbor, and I told him to call the cops.
Okay. So can I see your finger?
I mean, it's cleaned up a little bit now, but that's what the
I got pictures.
Okay, did you? Alright, so harass. What did that? Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't really hurt. I'm just really scared of
The
him.
phone did it. Okay. All right.
And now when the female cop is asking her, has he ever hit you before? Has he ever been physical with you before? The wife says, he's never hit me. She's saying this through tears. The female cop gets, specific. Pushed you, grabbed you, because she knows how this plays out with different victims. DV can look like so many things. A person might not punch you literally, and of course it can go male to female or female to male, so we are not playing favorites here. This man is going to jail. Just for a night, he thinks it's very unfair, but I'm thinking it would have been just as fair if his wife had knocked a beer glass out of his hand. She would have rightly gone to jail too. I'm grateful for these Colorado laws, and they talk a lot about the strictness of Colorado laws. I think we could all learn a lot from Colorado. So, pushed you, grabbed you, she doesn't really answer. She says, I'm scared of him. He's always had anger issues. Now, he's the father of all three of their children, and she insists he would never hurt the children. So that's what she insists. The wife feels like his anger is only towards her.
This is for you. It explains things, but she'll also explain it verbally. She is your advocate, and if she isn't the one who goes to court, somebody will be in court to make sure the judge and the district attorney understands how you're feeling and why. Okay.
Can I take my kids to school tomorrow?
You can take your kids anywhere you want. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, he probably I don't think that it's until usually, see if it has it on there. It says what time. These are the new ones. But she'll be able to tell you. I don't think it's anywhere now, and I don't. He's also being he's actually being charged with 3 charges.
What are they?
So, because you said this doesn't really hurt, but he did hit you. So that's harassment, domestic violence. That's where the temporary restriction order or restraining order goes into place. He's getting charged with not allowing you to use the phone. He's interfering with that. That'll be up to them, the judge. And he's because Grayson was down here and saw it and was crying, he's being charged with 1 count of child abuse. Well, that's, it's non-physical, but he's still psychologically was impacted by it. So that is a charge. So those are the 3 charges he's being charged with, okay? This does not have it. she'll be able to tell you what time the first appearance is, but I think it's usually around 1, 2 o'clock, but I'm not sure. But when Emily gets here, she'll be able to explain that to you. Again, do you want us to stay, one of us to stay, or are you okay with MJ?
I'll stay
Okay,
till she comes.
because he's not coming back in here. He is. There's no way he's in the back of a police. He's in the back of a police car. He is handcuffed. He is going up to jail. He is not getting back to you and the kids tonight.
So they're getting more information from the wife. She's asked, do you work? And she says, I do, but he's the breadwinner. And the kids are real noisy in the background, so it's kind of hard to hear the conversations between the wife and the cops at some point when they're downstairs in the kitchen. But it's good that the kids don't know everything that's going on. But she called her husband. He's obviously the breadwinner. It's like she's motioning around at their surroundings. You know, she's kind of letting us know he's the one that pays the lion's share of the bills. And you can hear her say, he's done a lot, but I stayed for my kids. She said he's done it sober and he would never hurt the kids. It's good she doesn't elaborate, but she's opening up. And I think these body cam videos have taught me a lot. I think it can really help viewers, teach them a lot about DV situations, how to break free. It can help abusers know what constitutes abuse, literally, because this man is not going to take it in. At least not this night. I believe he seemed more remorseful later in court when I caught that hearing. But yeah, later we will see more of his gray truck, loud, in the driveway when he comes back the next night, and his wife is going to give the officer stuff, a hoodie to hand her husband. The officer's like a go-between between the couple. And another thing, everything was like triggering, reminding me of the Watts case. There's a white vehicle in the garage. It reminded me, of course, of Shanann's white Lexus SUV, but of course this one is just a car. We can see the car as the husband is getting arrested. The cops have him kind of move away from the car.
Is this the old Watts house?
Huh?
Is this the old Watts house?
I don't know.
I think it is. Frederick Police Department. What's going on this evening, bro? Yeah? You got any weapons on you, bro?
No, not at all.
Nothing on you? Alright, well, you want to talk to me out here?
Yeah, can I grab my shoes?
Yeah.
You have kids in the house, right?
Yeah.
How old are the kids?
4, 7, and 9.
Okay.
We come in?
Yeah, come on in.
Right on, thank you.
You can even go to the garage if you want.
Wherever you're comfortable talking, I'm assuming you want to do it out of the... I think I've met you before, right? When you guys first moved in here? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's happening tonight?
So, we invited some friends over for the Super Bowl, of course, you know.
Yeah.
We're all hanging out, and me and MJ, my neighbor, and my wife's friend Bonnie, her husband Mike, the three of us are sitting down here watching football, you know. And Bonnie, Mike's wife, they went upstairs.
Excuse me.
And they're hanging out upstairs or whatever, and we're all supposed to be watching the game together. So I was like, okay, you know, and like, I have a camera set up in our loft so I could keep an eye on the kids, you know? So like, I pull the camera up and I'm looking, and my wife and Bonnie, they're sitting like all close to each other, you know? And like, I'm like, okay, like this is kind of weird, and I'm watching. And then like Bonnie, she's like looking back to see if anybody's watching or whatever, and then like starts kissing my wife.
Okay.
So after being married for 12 years, you know, and everything like me and her have been through, you know, in 12 years, and then to see her just like piss it all away, you know.
Yeah.
Like that, it upset me, and it was hard to hold back emotion, you know. So I went up there, I confronted them. And I told her, you know, like, I didn't confront him at first. We came here and we stood here in the garage and we talked. And I told her, I said, I know everything that just happened. I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the
I was
camera
like,
in the loft, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, just be honest with me, you know, tell me. And like, here, like, I mean, I even have it recorded.
The conversation.
You know, and like, I'm like, just be honest with me. And she's like, it didn't happen. And I was like, I'm watching it right here, you know, and like, that's Bonnie, that's Kaylin on the right. And like, she even looks back to see if anybody's like watching and shit. Dude, am I going to, like, just be up with me?
Well, am
I going to jail?
I'll let you know, but we're still running. We're still trying to figure everything out.
I just can't do this with my kids, man. They can't see me do this, dude.
Hey, man, listen.
Like, I'm not even physical with my. We don't even spank my kids, man. My first one, yeah, we started with her, but my middle child, my 7-year-old, and my 4-year-old, you know, like, they've never even seen us, man. We don't even touch our kids, dude. We're not physical. We're not. Nothing. Okay, to get upset like this and hit her glass, yeah, I shouldn't have done it. But I mean, 12 years of marriage, man.
Yeah,
I'm emotional.
I get it, man. I get it. Oh, I understand.
You know, to see this happen.
We're still trying to figure out the whole story, right? Because there's, you know,
Yeah, Bonnie's coming hang out while you're gone.
Okay.
She ended up staying here Tuesday night and Wednesday night.
Okay.
I get back from Pennsylvania. My 9-year-old daughter tells me that mom had the door locked with Bonnie in her room, wouldn't let them in. And I was like, okay, well, like, was this at nighttime or what? She's like, yeah, she told us to go to bed and she locked the door and wouldn't let us in. And she's like, when I woke up in the morning, the door was still locked and mom still wouldn't let us in. So that's where it started. And then tonight when they came over, this was the first night I ever met Mike or Bonnie.
Okay.
And they came here tonight and everything was cool, whatever. And then when they went upstairs, like, I was like, okay, so I looked at my camera and sure as shit, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
So let me ask you a question. Do you have any weapons on you?
No.
Can I check?
Yeah.
So put your hands behind your back real quick. Okay? I'm just going to check for weapons. And the first thing before we check for weapons, I got to explain something to you.
Are you guys really arresting me?
So I got to explain something. Okay? So you are being placed under arrest for when you slapped the glass out of her hand, and then when you took her phone from her and threw it in the room, she wasn't able to call us. So you are being placed under arrest for the domestic violence.
But I found myself comparing and contrasting everything in this house in 2024 compared to how Shanann had it decorated, her decor, her spotless housekeeping in 2018. And just the difference, slight differences, the furniture where, you know, there's a couch in the hallway where there wasn't one before. I don't think we saw their master bedroom. We've only seen the realtor photos, but I don't think it's some huge pillory bed in there anymore. I could be mistaken. I think the laundry room might look similar. Maybe it's blue in there. The kitchen looks a little different, and you can tell that front room, there's actually a TV in there where Shanann didn't have one. So sadly, I'm comparing the wives' trauma too, both wives. Now, obviously, Shanann experienced life-ending trauma, and so did her children, but that's not to discount what this new victim has gone through. But her husband seemed to want to discount it in a way. He just called it being emotional. He describes to the officers, first off, stuff I don't know if he should have been doing. Not necessarily that it's illegal to watch cameras that are trained on your own home, but he's going to admit to the officers, even when he went on a work trip to Pennsylvania, he's in there, you know, looking at the cameras, and he sees the stuff his wife is doing, and a friend who visited her, this female co-worker, and information he got from his kids, and all this stuff, like spying on his wife. He wants to make it seem to the officers that he's only just looking in on his family. Well, this is a fine line. I mean, I don't necessarily believe in spying on each other. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if there really was cheating or adultery or anything, but violence is never the answer. That's the problem. No matter how angry this husband got, based on anything he's previously seen going on in his home, or even any kiss he claims that happened between another woman and his wife, Super Bowl evening, the answer is never to go upstairs, smack a wine glass out of your wife's hand, you know, causing a little abrasion on her finger, according to the police report, and the glass shattering on the ground, and saying, you know, screaming, calling her a B, and, you know, get the F out and making her so upset, and it's not clear which kid witnessed this melee. Initially, they believed one child may have witnessed it, and that's why initially he caught a child abuse charge. But if memory serves, I wish I could show you the Colorado court hearing. They don't allow it. If memory serves, that one charge was dropped, and he pled guilty to the other 2 charges. But this husband says, you know, everything me and my wife's been through for the past 12 years, and to see her piss it all away, that's what he's telling the cops after he catches some woman kiss his wife. The wife just says, you know, her friend was like trying to kiss her on the cheek right as she turned around. I don't know what really happened. He's explaining he got emotional. He's been, you know, watching his wife over these video cameras, and that in and of itself is creepy to me. I don't know if it's illegal or not. And the cop later, when he comes back the next day, is going to try to talk to the husband about what did the court say about you remoting in and, you know, viewing your wife and all that. And the husband, he's going to go off on a tangent and talk about his wife kicking him out of the cameras. I don't blame her. But again, to me, this is creepy. I'm of the mindset now, I guess that I'm older. I don't know, if I get the unction that I need to look into something, I won't say I'd never hire a PI or something like that. I don't blame people for hiring PIs. Sometimes it comes to that. Maybe if you get that leading from the Lord. For me, I'm not going to go spying on anyone anymore. Yeah, I've done it before. I've used key loggers and everything. Figure out what someone's typing. I don't need to do stuff like that. You know, like one woman said, look, if something went on, it would be his loss. You know, you just trust whatever God wants you to know will come to you when it's time for you to know it. And then give you the peace to deal with it properly. For example, this wife, she would have gotten in trouble too. Let's say if her husband, if the situation were reversed, if someone had kissed her husband at this party and she saw it. Now, if she went there, if he's holding a beer and if she smacked that beer out of his hand and it shattered and he got an abrasion on his finger, yeah, she should have gone to jail too. I mean, fair is fair, but the husband doesn't see it that way. But to see this house filled with, you know, joyful kids, the older cop is like giving the kids toys. He's so great with them. You see it filled with life. You see it filled with people trying to enjoy a Super Bowl party. It's kind of odd indeed, knowing what went on there. How does a person forget what went on there? How do they put it out of their minds? You see toys and bikes and signs of life, all these signs of life that went missing after Chris Watts obliterated his family and the house fell silent. We watched a lot of this home in Shanann's Facebook videos. I probably watched every single one of them more than once. And then we watched the body cam videos. First, the ones where Chris was lying, you know, to cops. Oh, look, I found her wedding ring and this and that. We got to see cops walk all through that home. And Shanann's great friend, Nicole Atkinson, alerting the police to the fact that her friend and the girls were missing in the first place. And then after Chris Watts was arrested, we watched cops go back into that home, bag and tag different items. Very sadly, in the girl's bedroom, you know, collecting pillows and blankets and even over the baby monitor trying to recreate what Chris claimed he saw would happen over the baby monitor when at first he claimed it was Shanann hurting the girls. We knew that was a lie from the beginning, a lie from the pit of hell. And then, even in September 2018, we watched the cops go back in, guns drawn, a dark home, because someone saw this mysterious woman, we still don't know who she was, enter the home, but they never saw her exit. All these things make for a great mystery surrounding that home. So many people have called for it to be torn down, or can you make a park out of it? As I understand it, as some people are telling me, you can't turn it into an Airbnb or a Verbo because of HOA rules. I haven't confirmed that myself, but so many similarities. The one cop, the young cop, Officer Clean Hands, he's the one who transports this husband the exact same route. The husband from the home off Saratoga Trail, the cop car is kind of parked farther back. He transports this husband about 40 miles northeast all the way up to Weld County Jail, just like Chris Watts.
Did you run him? Run him?
No, not yet.
I'll have one male in custody. We'll get back in a second.
You have my phone?
I got your phone, bro. I'm right here, Goodman. You go on the passenger side.
Oh, this one's yours?
Yeah.
You're gonna put him in your car? You want to pat him down again?
Yeah, I'll pat him down again.
It's hard as hell, though.
Well, here's the deal. You're a pretty big guy. If you keep your hands a little bit like this, see, I can get.
Look at my daughter just watching.
No,
this is embarrassing, dude.
Okay, we're gonna get you in there real quick. Okay.
This is sickening.
So, is there anything in the house you want? A coat, your wallet, anything like that?
Probably my wallet off the dining room table.
I'll get that for you. Hold on, he has to just pat you down real quick because when you go in his car, different than me patting.
I'll make it quick, all right, bro?
God, my little baby boxer, man. This is sick. This is sick.
Okay, we're gonna get you in now.
I'm not saying you did. Understand Colorado has very strict domestic violence laws, and we don't.
Man, because a man can't show emotion at all.
So we're treating you with respect because you're treating us with respect. Go with right or first.
Let's go ahead and go with
left or right.
His right.
Okay. So you're a big guy, so I gotta just stretch you a little bit to try to get this cuff key in there. Okay, so hand this. Don't turn your hand yet, it locks in. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay. I'm gonna head up north. Alright, bro, we're gonna hit the road so we can get you out of here.
I can't believe I'm getting arrested over this, man.
Like I said, man, Colorado has some very strict domestic violence laws, and we unfortunately don't get any discretion over it.
Like, just because I get upset and show any kind of emotion, like I get in trouble with this.
Unfortunately, the act of slapping the wine glass out of her hand and this act of slapping her cell phone out of her hand constitutes a crime.
Her cell phone out, like it was on the floor and I picked
Her
it
throat.
up and she wanted it back, so I tossed it into our room.
Okay. Well, regardless, the act of swatting the wine glass out of her hand constitutes an act of domestic violence, unfortunately. So, when it comes to that, when it comes to intimate relationships and crimes, we get no discretion.
This is sick, man. And nothing happens with her.
What do you mean?
Like she gets in no trouble at all?
Give me 1 sec, I gotta get on the radio and then I'll be right back with you. I think it's direct supervision here at Weld County, so I don't think they have. I don't think they put people in general population in cells. It's just big open dorms. I've actually never been inside the Weld County Jail. I worked at Adams County for a little bit.
This officer is playing country music, but this husband talks more during the transport than Chris Watts did. By the time he drops him off, he says, "I have one adult male." He is cooperative. So it's the same thing, and that body cam video took me right back when Chris Watts was being dropped off, one cooperative male. So Chris Watts was probably sleeping through his transport. But this guy, he's talking on the way up to that Weld County Sheriff North Jail Complex in Greeley, Colorado. So it's NJC, they call it.
Our judicial system.
Can you show me with traffic?
I cannot confirm or deny that, but I understand where you're coming from.
Don't get me wrong, I understand we want to protect everybody, you know, but to be in a situation like I am, being hauled off to jail, you know, I've never been in trouble with the law in my life.
New pending incident.
And just because I showed emotion, like, I'm going to jail. I didn't hurt nobody, I didn't touch nobody, I didn't put my hands on anybody.
I understand where you're coming from, man. Unfortunately, we don't get any discretion when it comes to...
I get it. It's sick, man.
Everything's being documented. My body cam's recording right now, okay?
I appreciate that because it's sick, man, that I'm getting charged with child abuse and I wasn't even heard. And my kids weren't even in the room. They were in the basement. And when I did talk to my wife one-on-one, her and I went to the garage, away from everybody. Like, you think I'm looking at jail time for this, or what?
No, I don't think you're looking at jail time. Listen, I can't tell you what's going to happen because I'm not the judge, I'm not the judicial system, but in my experience, what will likely happen is you'll see a judge tomorrow, they'll PR bond you. And you'll have to deal with this, but you're not gonna. I highly doubt you're not gonna do any jail time for this. I can't promise you anything, obviously, but I would say no, in my opinion. Okay.
Child abuse, is this like a felony charge?
No, none of these are felonies. These are just misdemeanors.
And how long does this stuff stay on my record?
In my experience, what I've seen happen is couples often go to court and work it out, and depending on how you move forward with your wife, some or all this could be dropped. But again, I can't make you any promises. I can't say what the future is. I can't promise you anything, all right?
New pending incident.
How old are you?
36.
New pending incident.
That's what I'm saying, man. I've never been in trouble in my life.
I didn't see anything on you, so I believe you.
You know, but I mean, I wasn't violent. Through my life. I was upset. I showed emotion.
I understand.
I got cheated on after 12 years of marriage. So even when I walk in here, like, say they put me in this thing, these dudes are gonna find out about this, and everyone's gonna want to beat my ass.
No one, unless you pop off and tell them and start talking about your charges in front of everyone else, no one knows.
And this is all happening because she wanted to press charges?
No, in Colorado, it doesn't matter if the other person wants to press charges. That's what I've been trying to tell you, is there's no discretion. So, if there's a warrant for someone's arrest, I have to arrest them because it's a judge's order. It's domestic violence falls the same way. It doesn't matter if anyone wants to press charges. It's just if there's probable cause, which in this case there was, we as officers have to make an arrest, otherwise we could be prosecuted.
So did she press charges?
I have no idea if she wanted to or not because I didn't talk to her, but it doesn't matter if she wanted to or not.
They're filed.
Yeah, because like I said, anytime there's probable cause that a crime committed, or a crime was committed, and it's domestic violence related in Colorado, it's a shell arrest, whether anyone wants to press charges or not. That's what I was kind of alluding to earlier, that DV charges here in Colorado are insanely strict. Frederick PD, I have one adult male. He is cooperative.
Come on in.
Thank you. There's a trash can over here before we go. I'll let you take a pit stop over there. See right here in front of us.
You guys stay safe out there. See ya.
And when he gets there, he's sitting on the same bench where Chris Watts sat and everything. But he complains. He has to go to the bathroom. He had to spit the tobacco out of his mouth. He's really incredulous that he caught charges at all in the first place. And again, he's just not self-aware. This husband is bemoaning the fact that the officers are handcuffing him. Well, when they left the house, they're saying, look, can we walk you out of the garage? Can we open the garage door, walk you out so we don't have to walk you out back through the house? So fewer people will see you. And they were trying to help him out. By the time they get to the officer's vehicle and they're trying to fix him up, search him again and everything, he's just like, oh, my daughter's watching me. This is sick. This is sick. Like, he never takes responsibility. Well, at least not this night. He does later, I guess, during his guilty plea. He doesn't take responsibility for the reason he's in handcuffs, because he chose to let his temper get out of control, and it happens to the best of us, I understand. I'm not holier than thou. It's just the explanation. When it turned physical, when he admitted to slapping that wine glass out of his wife's hand, that constituted domestic violence. When he took her phone and he threw it in hopes of her not calling the police, that's another charge. And, I don't like the fact that he called her a name and cursed at her and all that and cursed at the people. There are other ways to handle our anger. Be angry and don't sin. No wonder the Bible says that. It's difficult, I know. I'm sure he keeps calling it emotional. Just because I got emotional, I'm going to jail. No, that's not why he's going to jail. If his wife had gotten emotional and put her hands on him, she should have gone to jail too. And she didn't. It's funny, at one point this guy even asked the cops, wait, nothing's going to happen to her? He shows the cops, oh, this is what happened that made me mad. Look, here's the woman turning and kissing my wife, right in my house. You're going to sit up here in my house? He calls it his house. Not his house anymore, I guess. But he's saying, you're going to do this in my house? Funny, he never shows the video of him slapping the wine glass out of her hand. Now, he recorded the portion that made him upset. He didn't record his reaction, or maybe the evidence was gone, because when the wife looked for it, she said he probably turned the cameras off. And she shows the cop what time it was, so there is no evidence of the actual assault, the slapping of the wine glass. So he's saying she's not going to get in trouble, as if kissing someone else is against the law. It's not. Now, you can argue the merits of adultery or whatever being immoral, of course. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that's not illegal. He took it too far when he slapped the wine glass out of his wife's hand. But there's so many similarities in little ways. The wife is crying and talking to the police, the older guy, and she said, but I'm also scared of being able to take care of my kids on my own. So she's already admitted he's the breadwinner. They have 3 kids. It harkened right back to Shanann, right when her and Chris were having discord problems, and Shanann was like, I don't know if I can take care of 3 kids in Colorado on my own. It was just almost that same thing when Shanann was fearing being a single mom. But yeah, the cops are trying to de-escalate the situation, either pretending to agree with him, but they're saying, look, their hands are tied. Colorado domestic violence laws say we have to take you in. And I do applaud those laws. I applaud those laws because for too long we've seen domestic violence situations, whether it happens to a male victim or a female victim, where it kind of just used to be, hey, walk it off. Or, especially male victims, they get shafted quite a bit. Male victims of domestic violence oftentimes don't come forward because if a woman, say, slaps her husband across the face, it's kind of like, men are told, be a man, just, don't do anything to her, just keep her away from you. And no, that's domestic violence too. She should be arrested. And the same with the reverse. And back in the day, it used to be, oh, dude, you hit your wife or pushed her, just go take a walk, just go walk it off. And sometimes there is no accountability. In this case, it was good. It interrupted the pattern. It happened when there were witnesses, and the cops listened to both sides. They looked at all the evidence available and they arrested the guy. He only had to spend 1 night in jail. He didn't have to do any jail time that I remember. And he just, I believe, had to take anger management courses or whatever. But it's good because it gave his wife the opportunity to get away from him, to get a temporary restraining order, to get some distance, for him to hopefully get some perspective. He did seem more remorseful when he appeared in court. And he talked about a March court date, but I don't know if I watched that one. I think it got something happened where I watched it in April and he was standing there with his kind of checkered shirt on, flannel or whatever, and he had his hat, I believe, and he did seem more remorseful. His wife was on the phone. She wasn't in his presence. She was going to allow him to come to the house since they're selling it, as long as she wasn't there when he came to the house. So she was trying to be, amenable to him and work it out and do what they had to do. I'm not for certain, but I don't think they got back together. I'm assuming, I believe this went to divorce. But the husband was saying, this is sick in front of my daughter. You know, but was he thinking of the things that his daughter or daughters or son may have witnessed when he was hitting that wine glass and cursing at their mother? What about that is sick? So in the transport, he's yammering on about the unfairness of our judicial system. He's talking about this is why people don't trust law enforcement. He's claiming it's all one-sided. The cops didn't listen to him. And, you know, bet your ass I got emotional. Been married for 12 years. There's nothing wrong with being emotional as long as it doesn't turn emotionally or verbally or physically abusive. Of course, I'm sure now hindsight is 2020. I hope everyone's learned, especially him, how to express himself better. If he felt, you know, disrespected and hurt and all that, all those emotions, maybe he's the one who should have left his own home that night and said, look, we got to go into counseling. We've got to do something. We've got to talk this through because this is how I feel. It's never a good answer to just let your emotions out violently towards another person, and especially in front of children.
All right, sir, come on over. You have any weapons of any kind? Any guns, knives, bombs, bazookas? Knives, needles, anything that might hopefully stick me, injure me in any way? Anything concealed inside of your body that you don't want to bring inside the jail? Just chain the cuffs off. Spin around and face me. After I take the cuffs off, turn them back around and put your hands on that metal bar for me. Thank you. Alright, so go ahead and hand me your hat first. Take off one of your shoes and hand it to me. Take off your other shoe. Alright, take off one of your socks. Take off the other sock. Alright, take your belt off. Take off this ring for me. Do you have any jewelry or piercings I can't see? Any extra clothes on underneath your jeans or your shirt? Just mine. Okay. Keep your hands on the bar. Take one more step back for me. Separate your feet a little more. Alright. One more pat search here. Alright, go ahead and show me the palms of your feet. Cool. Cool. Alright, face me. Open your mouth. Lift up tongue. Put your hands. Alright, hand down here real quick. Step in the body scan there for me. Yeah. Alright, come on out. Alright, come on up here, sir. You can get 4 or 5 numbers off the cell phone. Don't call or text anybody. Alright, we'll take it.
they're still trying. Poor baby.
Alright, go ahead and turn your phone all the way off for me. And then hold on to your phone numbers, just have a seat. You're all set?
Appreciate you.
Thank you much.
I'm gonna go use your restroom real quickly. Thank you. Have a good night, Martinez.
Which neighbor is going to help you? Got all the keys and everything you need while we're here. Let me know. If not, I can go and...
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Need my work hoodie.
You looking for it? See if it's in there before I go and contact her?
Yeah, I need my work hoodie. It says Energera on the front of it.
Alright. Is that the only thing? Is that the only thing?
I think so.
Hey, did you put the work hoodie in there?
I don't know which work hoodie.
He said it says Energira. It's a black hoodie and it says Energira on it.
Okay, do you know where it would be?
Here, I'll check.
Yeah, thank you.
There's something right there.
Oh, thank you.
Where might it be? Any idea?
In the closet with all the coats.
Closet with the coats. Okay. In the closet with the coats?
This one right here? Okay.
I don't know if it's your house. Yeah. I'll sit here and wait and see. Yep.
One of the bags also has like a nice, like heavier hoodie.
Okay.
And if you need
He's looking through it, so. Okay, this was the one thing that he was asking about. Here it is. She also put a heavier jacket or something, she said, in one of the bags. Yep. So did they say anything to you about the cameras inside the house and not monitoring or monitoring them or anything like that?
Yeah, how she went through and deleted all the
Well,
all the videos.
I'm just asking, did the court say anything about not
I'm telling you
remoting
about
them?
her deleting all the videos that were on there. All the proof of everything that happened.
I don't know what she has access to, what she has knowledge to.
The camera inside doesn't record.
Okay.
And it's set up that way because when they come on and record, these lights come on. So we set the one inside up so it doesn't come on like that.
Okay.
The only way you can see anything on it is when you pull up a live view.
Gotcha.
So when you pull up a live view...
So what are you saying that she erased?
It records the live view.
On your phone or on the... So you have to bring up the live view to have it record, is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
So when I brought up the live view of her in there, so now it kicked me out. So I don't, she must have changed.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I was asking you if the court said whether you're allowed to remote in or not. Make sure you don't violate that, okay?
She's kicked me out of my account now, so now I can't even see my kids.
Well, again, that may be something that the courts don't want. I can't answer that. Are you going to call the friend, or we got to go over there and get him, or what?
I'll call him.
Okay.
Yeah, she's locked me out of that now.
Well, and again, that's while you're not here.
Nothing to do with the courts, and it's...
Well, it still could be part of your...
erasing evidence and keeping me from evidence that I need from me. So that's not...
So the husband is allowed to come back the following night to get some stuff. And just like we talked about in my previous YouTube video where we went over the police reports, now we get to see it playing out what they were talking about. The husband is miffed that cops didn't listen to him, and he acts as if the cops didn't stand there and find out, like they did. They got his statement, they got her statement. He admitted to slapping that glass and breaking it right out of her hand, even though he's trying to make it sound like I just hit the top of her glass. He's claiming no one got hurt, no one got injured, but she showed the cops some kind of abrasion on her finger. And the husband, weirdly, is more concerned about trying to show the cops evidence of his wife's cheating, as if that's going to be against the law or something. But he's like, oh no, he can't access the cameras anymore. He can't get in. And that older cop is trying to ask him, oh, did the court say anything to you about, you remoting into the house? Like, he's trying to say, did the court say you can still do this? Is this even allowed? And the husband immediately starts saying, well, she took my access away. And the older cop is like, no, what I'm trying to ask you is what the court's, and the husband goes, see, you're not listening to me again. And it's really funny. It's really the antithesis. The husband is not listening to the cops, or he's not wanting to answer the cops what they're asking him.
That's a violation right there.
So when is your next court case?
It's just the whole our judicial system, you know, like, you guys didn't even hear me out. You didn't let me talk and explain anything before.
Well, you were talking to Officer Fountain.
See, like right now, you won't even let me talk.
Well, I'm explaining. You're trying to tell me I didn't listen,
I'm trying
but
to
Officer
explain
Fountain.
my point to it, and you don't even want to listen to me.
No, I'm just explaining. If you have something to say to me, that's up to you. If you want to say something, that's fine.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, don't act like we didn't talk to you, because we did.
You didn't. My side before you just automatically threw me in a pair of handcuffs. Yeah, I'm locked out of that now, so I can't even show you what happened. But she went through all the video of everything that happened that started this, of her doing what she was doing. She deleted it all.
Well, you showed us that. We saw that, and that's noted in my report. What you showed us. That video. Do you remember showing me the video? So I did see it, and we noted that, I noted in my report what you told me and what I saw in the video. So I did see it. Okay, so that's noted. And there was no other video that you were able to show us last night for whatever reason. So we did see it and listen to everything. So I don't know if you just didn't remember us seeing it.
They're trying to say, look, man, have the courts told you anything about you doing all this watching? Are you still supposed to be? But the husband's like, oh, well, no, I can't even see my kids. It's like, well, were you really concerned about your kids when you were calling your wife a bee and smacking the glass out of her hand and the glass was shattering everywhere? Were you worried about your kids then and their emotional health? Now, this guy's never been in trouble. I'm not painting him as any Chris Watts. I'm not going light on domestic violence. I'm not poo-pooing it, but I'm also not painting him out to be some monster that Chris Watts was. The husband, for his part, is claiming, he's never hurt anyone. He's never put his hands on his wife. His wife kind of has a slightly different story. We take both sides. We take all evidence in. But the husband is more concerned with, oh, now I don't have the proof. Now I don't have the evidence. Like, his proof and evidence he's looking for is another woman kissing his wife. As if that video would stand up in court as what? Oh, okay, the judge would say. I see why you were so angry now, sir. You have every right to go knock that wine glass out of your wife's hand. No, there's no evidence. He didn't record his actions. In fact, as his wife assumes, he may have turned the cameras off. But at this point, the husband is saying, oh, the wife, she should be in trouble for that because she's getting rid of evidence. Anyway, I'll stop there, and if you want to watch the whole things over on Patreon, feel free. We can, chat about it in the comments there too. John 3:14 through 15. Just as Moses lifted up the bronze serpent in the desert on a pole, so must the Son of Man be lifted up on the cross, so that whoever believes in him will have eternal life after physical death and will actually live forever. That's the crux. That's the important part. When we go over these crime cases, I always started adding a Bible verse at the end because, even starting that Chris Watts case, it was just so heavy. There was just so much grief and sorrow. I needed to end these videos with some hope. Hope that those who believe in him will have eternal life. And that's where the hope is, when people take each other's lives violently, just too soon. without cause, or in their mind, if they think they have cause, or if they end up regretting what they did. So what do you guys think about this whole situation? It's so odd to me that such a tragedy happened in the Watts home. That's the home that Chris and Shanann built. And then it sits empty so long. And the very next family who feels compelled to move in there are so much like Chris and Shanann in certain ways, in terms of a put upon wife, let's say, and a husband working in the energy field. I guess many Coloradans do that. The same number of children, the same genders, 2 girls and a boy. Thankfully, not the same tragic end. So once they sell this home and whoever moves in there, what will it be? I mean, we hope there's no more visits to this home. It's very strange. It's spooky. It makes you think something more is going on there. I mean, I was researching so deep, I was even looking into, what does Saratoga Trail mean? What does this mean? But anyway, thank you for watching all this and always sticking with me all this time. Hopefully this will be it for this house and we won't see anything else, but at least we now have the facts. There was one booking into the Weld County Jail February 11th, 2024. This husband was arrested at 6:53 p.m. And even if that child abuse, negligence, whatever charge may have been dropped, I do believe it was, he pled guilty to harassment and obstruction of telephone or telegraph services. So like the officer said, these are misdemeanors, and hopefully it'll just teach everyone. That's my whole goal. These are all cautionary tales. This pattern thankfully was interrupted, so that maybe the husband by now is viewing things differently and realizing not to treat his wife that way. And even if they move on and if they're just co-parenting now or what have you, how to move forward in relationships that no matter what happens that angers us, that pisses us off, that we don't react in a physically violent, emotionally violent, verbally violent way. Thank you so much for watching all this. Take care. Stay tuned. Again, as always, I pay attention to the views as your vote. As I have learned for years now, nearly 2 decades of being an online publisher, that's one lesson I truly learned. People might say they want you to cover something, they might say they're not clicking on something, they might say they're not interested in something, but what really tells the truth are those stats, those numbers, what they're really clicking through, what they're watching, how long they're watching. That's what they're interested in. Thank you so much. Take care.